Hello everyone, welcome again to this course. This is the third video of this course, and in this video we will talk about what will happen if you are not aware with server repository and you are writing your code on your local system, and now you want to push whatever you have in your local system from your local to the server repository. It means you want to start the initialization of the repository at your local system, and then you want to push those changes from local to the server. Let's understand how this will work. Before continuing with this video, I would suggest to watch the first two parts of this course where we have set up the Git in the system, and in the next part we were learning about how to clone a server repository to your local system. And now let's start about this one. So over here I'm going to create one more folder over here. So let's say this is my test from local folder, and let's go inside this one and let's open the command prompt over here. Here we are having this command prompt. Alright, now here I want to add some files. So for example, let's just right click over here and new, and let's simply use any sample file. So this is my sample file. You can have more than one file as well, because generally in your code you will have a number of files. So do not worry, you can have any number of file at this place. And let's quickly create one more as well. So this is the copy. So what I'm having is I'm having two files, and if I would like to write some text, so this is sample, save it, and this is my sample copy. Alright, now at this place I want to initialize the Git, and to initialize the local repository you will have to run a command. The command is git init. That init will initialize the local repository at this particular folder. But before that, there are several things that we need to understand how Git will handle all these things. So basically there is a configuration file from Git in our system, and based on the settings that we have written over there, this will initialize these settings. Alright, so let's just open that configuration file and let's see what changes are there. To view that file, I can go to the C drive, and over here we are having this program files. Then if I go to this Git, then you will notice you are having etc folder, and here we are having this file git config. Let's just double click over here and open it maybe in VS Code like this. So here you will notice that we will have some code from that file. Here you will notice we are having several things, and at the end you will see we are having this default branch. So it means if you will initialize your local repository in your local system, then the default branch would be this one. You can always override it by providing a name to your branch, but if you are not providing any name, then the default one would be this one. Alright, so let's just close it and close this VS Code as well. And over here I would like to write the command to initialize that Git repository. So here I'm writing git init, and where we are, and this is our correct folder. Alright, so now let's just hit the enter button, and you will notice that we will have this .git folder, and this .git is something that tells us about everything about this particular repository. So again here we are having one more configuration file. If I open it again in this VS Code, then you will notice we will have some code over here as well. We will learn the details of all these files in upcoming videos, but here just we are setting up our stage and we are learning about the very basic fundamentals of this Git tutorial. So it means we have initialized this Git, and this folder is working as a local repository. Now to view the status, if I would like to run a command which is git status, click on this enter button, then you will notice my branch is master. We are on branch master. The name of my branch is master. Remember, there will be at least one branch, and that name of the branch would be the default one. So because we have not provided any branch over here, so it means the default is master over here. And if somebody will ask you where is this coming from, this is coming from our global configuration. Alright, so we can override that as well. Here are some other things, that these are some untracked file. We will talk about that as well, but first let's deal with this master branch. The concept of having the default branch with name master is little bit old. If you will talk about the latest one, then the name of the default branch is main. Although there is no difference and there is no problem in that, but let's deal with the latest one. And so for that, this time I will just delete this git folder, and we have removed the local repository. We are only having the code in this folder. Alright, now I would like to initialize this repository again. So here I'm writing git init, and this time I will provide the name of my branch. So this is going to be main. If you are writing this dash b, it means we are providing the name of our branch, and the name of the branch is main. Click on this enter button and you will notice that again a empty git repository has been initialized. If this time I will run this command git status, then you will notice that the branch name this time is main and everything else is similar. So we are having no commits yet, untracked file. Untracked means whatever files you are having in this particular folder and you are not telling Git that these are the part of this repository, then by default they will be untracked. We have to tell Git that these are some files that we want to include and please handle them automatically. So for that we will have to add all of them. There are two ways. One is we can add the files one by one by using git add and then the name of the file one by one, and there is another option. If you want to add all of them at once, you can simply provide star over here or the asterisk. So git add asterisk and just simply hit this enter button. Now what we have done, we have told this git local system to track all these files in this folder. So this time if I will just simply use this git status command, then you will notice it is telling us that there are two files and these are new. Earlier you will notice that these were in red color and these were untracked file, but this time there are some changes. It is saying that there are some changes to commit. You will have to commit those changes and these are new files. What are the changes? These are new files. And what are the changes? Here are the changes. These are two new files. If you will make some changes in the existing file, then over here you will see that it will tell you that there are some changes in this existing file, but because this is totally a new file to Git, that is why it is showing us as a new file. Now let's run one more command, which is going to be git commit. What is the meaning of commit? Commit is a version. Git will track all your changes version by version. So the previous version was that it was totally empty. Now in next version, all the changes that we are having over here, we want to make or track them in one single commit. And for this commit, I want to write a message. And to write that message, here I can write this m, and here we can write our message. And here I'm writing adding default files. So at this place you can write your meaningful message. Always make sure that you can identify your changes by using this message, because Git will maintain a history and you can track all of them by using this message. This message will also have a specific ID, which is going to be commit ID. So in a particular commit we will have commit ID, we will have a message, and all the changes that we are making in that particular commit will be there. So let's just hit this enter button and you will notice we are getting something else over here. So this will happen only for the first time. What we are getting over here, it is saying that Git does not know who we are. We need to tell the Git who we are by making some changes in the configuration file. So here you will notice we are having this git config global user.email. It is saying us that run this command with your email ID and your name. Alright, so here you will notice we are having global. So there are three configuration file in this git. One is global. Global means it is applicable to all the users of this particular laptop or your computer. Second is system level. System level means if inside your laptop you are having three users, user 1, user 2, user 3, then there will be files specific to those users. For example, if I'm having this laptop and in this laptop I'm having two users, let's say one is me and another is developer 1. So there will be two files, one for each user, and that will be called as system configuration. Third configuration will come in your local repository, and that is available over here. If you will go to .git and this is configuration, it means this is our local configuration. And if you are making the changes in your global file, then it is available to all the repositories in your system, and that is why we are making the changes over here. If you want to have different name and email ID for your repositories, then you can define them as per the configuration level. The local one will always override the settings in the previous one. It means if you are having some changes in the global and we are having some changes in the system, then the system will override the changes of the global. Also, if we are having some changes in our local, that file will override all the changes of your system and the global. So let's run these commands and let's see what will happen then. So I'm going to simply copy this line and paste it here, and in the comma I will write my email ID. So this is going to be nitish.webcentral@gmail.com. hit the enter button, and again we have to tell the name. So let's just copy it and paste it here, and let's write this name. So here I'm writing this Nitish and the Kosik. Just hit the enter button. Alright, again let's run this git commit command. Here we are. So I'm writing this git commit m. This is the message. This is the same command that I want to run. Hit the enter button, and this time you will notice that we are having two files have changed, two insertions. These are the create mode for these files. Alright, if I will type this time git status, then you will notice we are on main branch and there is nothing to commit. Everything is already tracked by git. I want to push these changes from my local repository to the server one. How can I do that? So for that I will have to open the GitHub and just click on this new. So we will have to create a new repository over here, and make sure GitHub is not the only provider that you can use. You can use any provider of your choice. The concept is going to be same. Here I'm writing, you can give any meaningful name over here. I'm just doing it for the testing purpose, and let's not use anything else. Simply click on this create repository. Here you will notice that this is the code we have. So at this place, remember, there could be two situations. One is that you are going to start everything from scratch. Then for that you can run these commands, which is git init. You can add the file readme.md like this, git commit. Then this is the message, and then we are just having one branch, git branch main branch, and then we are adding the remote. The remote means this one. So if we are telling it to add a remote thing, what is that? To add the origin. So add a server, and this is the URL of that server, and then simply git push u origin main. So these are some commands that you can use. On the other hand, if you are already having one repository, for example in our case we have already initialized one repository, so you have to run only these three commands. One is git remote add origin, this thing. So let's just copy it, and if you are using other provider, the commands will be same, but this URL will be different. So simply let's use this one, and here we are. Let's just use it, git remote add origin, this thing. We are done. We are already having this main branch, so I will not use that one. So let's use this third one, and git push u origin main. Hit the enter button. This time you will notice that it is asking us to verify our login. So here you can log in by using your browser, or you can sign in with your code, or you can also use the token as well over here. So let's use this sign in with your browser, and a new tab will be open in the browser. I have done that. So over here you will notice that it is having compressing the objects, writing the objects. The changes have been pushed. You can notice branch main setup to track origin main. So it means all our changes have been pushed from our local to the server. And if I would like to have the changes, here you can notice we are having that same repository coming to local, and the changes have been updated over here. We are having both the files. If I will click on this first file, then you will notice that we are having the code from that one. It was having sample copy. In the next one it is having only sample, and this is the text that we are having. So here what we have done, we have done couple of commands. One is we are using git init to initialize the local git repository. Then we are adding all the files by using git add star or asterisk. It means we are adding all the files. If you are having, let's say, 5 files, or you want to add only 3 of them, then you can only add 3 of them by using individually. For example, git add and then specify the name of your file. You can also specify multiple files name in one single command. So git add your file name. Alright, if you want to add all of them, which is a very common scenario, then you can simply use git add star, which is asterisk, and now you have to commit your changes by providing a message. So git commit dash m, and you can provide your message over there. Then this will create a commit ID, commit message, and the changes. These are basic things required to work on a local repository. Now you want to push your changes from local to the server, and for that you will have to tell your local repository what is the place or URL of your server repository, and you can do that by using this git remote add origin, the name of your server repository or the URL of that server repository. And you can do that easily by using one command, which is git remote add origin, the URL of your server repository. Then if the authentication is required, then it will ask for the authentication, and then automatically once you will push the changes, git push to origin main branch, then whatever changes you will have in your local system, those will be pushed from local to the server. And if you'll refresh the changes, then you will notice that everything is available at your server repository. Now let's do all these things very quickly by using some other providers as well. So here we are in our local one, and this time if I would like to see the global configuration file, then let's see what will happen. To view the details of the global configuration file, you can also use one more command, which is git config. I would like to see the global, and -e to edit the changes. Let's click on this enter button, and you will notice that we are having the changes over here. This is the email that I have provided, and this is the name to this file. If you want to open this configuration file in an editor, then you can also run few other commands. So let's do that. Here I'm writing git config global core.editor. We are telling it that the default editor must be this code. The code is coming from VS Code, and this wait is basically we are telling that to wait this terminal until we are opening the file in the VS Code. Let's hit the enter button, and it is done. If again I would like to run that command, which is git config global, and to edit it I can use this -e, hit the enter button. You can notice waiting for your editor to open the file, and this time you can notice we are having all the changes at this place. So this is the user. I'm having this email is equals to nitish.webzental, which we have provided, and this is the name which I have provided by using the command line tools, and these are some default commands that we are having, and that's it. Now let's talk about some other GUI tools as well. So first I will talk about some settings from this tortoise git. So this time if you will notice, this tortoise git is having some different options. So let's just click on this setting button and click OK. Then you will notice that by default in this git, here you can click on this one, you are having this details, you are having these details, we are having this name and this email over here. You do not have to use the command line tool, you can simply change them over here, and these settings will be stored automatically in your configuration file. But for now, let's learn how can we do all these things from VS Code. So I'm creating one more folder, and this is going to be, let's say, test from VS Code, and let's just open this folder in the VS Code editor. How can we do that? Code space dot, hit the enter button, or you can also use that right click and open folder in the VS Code, or you can also drag and drop your folder from local to the editor. Alright, so here we are, and you will notice that we are having one option, initialize repository. So I can do that easily like this. Here we are done. You can notice we will have this .git folder, and if you want to create some files as well, then you can create sample.html and create another one, test.html. Alright, so let's save both of them, and if I go back over here, you will notice we are having both the files at this place. And again, because we are handling everything from this VS Code this time, no commands, so you can see that we are over here at this place. So you can see that we are having this U symbol over here, these are saying untracked. It means these files are untracked, and over here you do not have to add the changes manually. This VS Code will handle that setting automatically. You can simply write the message over here and just simply click on this commit button, and that's it. If you want to push the changes, then again you can use these three dots, you can use this push, and before that you will have to set up your origin as well over here by using that same command. So you can open the terminal window at this place, and you can write the origin command, and you can use pull and push from this particular option. The similar concept is also available in Visual Studio. So you can again initialize your repository over there, and you can write all your messages at that place. So I'm not focusing too much on writing this pull and push and this message command, because this is something that we will learn in detail in the next video. But here the main purpose was to set up the local repository and push those changes from local to the server. Alright, I hope the concept is clear. If you are having any doubt and question, please feel free to ask in the comment section, and if you are loving this course, then please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.